Hello guys, today we are covering if King Kong from the Peter Jackson's movie can survive in the Jurassic franchise. Unlike the other videos, we are not putting him in the three main islands, but we are putting him in an arena. The contenders are going to be from Jurassic movies and of course Camp Cretaceous and Chaos Theory. We are not going to be things that are not going to be featured are going to be the games or the Lego series. So I think we are fair to start. So let's go with Kong. Kong in the movie appears to be 25 feet tall. That's of course calculated when he's next to Ant. Also, he weighs around 8 tons. For his size, he's really agile, able to jump around, as we saw in the fight with the Vastatosaurus Rex. He's also really fast, as we saw in the movie. He was running full speed at the car and almost catched it. So I guess 40 miles per hour for his speed. And for reactions, I guess you can say subsonic skin cuts, planes, and the Vastatosaurus Rex that are calculated to run around 30 miles per hour or more. So he has really impressive feats, although yeah, he ended up you can say, I guess, dying to really old weapons, but anyways, he was weakened, as it was confirmed. He's able to lift a Vastatosaurus which weighs around, I guess, 11 tons. So good stats for him, mainly building level stats, with some surpassing large building level, like 3 Vastatosaurus Rex with one arm is insane. Just insanity. So who is going to face? The contenders are Asset 87, of course from Jurassic Park 3 and Camp Cretaceous. He's going to face Giganotosaurus, Jurassic World Dominion / Jurassic World Chaos Theory. Also, he's going to face the Indominus Rex. He's going to face the Distortus Rex, of course Rexy, and we are going to put Indoraptor and Scorpius Rex for the start for just fans and sakes. So, after each fight, he's going to be healed, so this is fair as possible. He starts with the smallest opponent so far, the Indoraptor. The Indoraptor is around 1 ton. He's really agile and really durable for his size. I guess bulletproof, as we saw in the movie, to some extent. So he would launch, he would jump at King Kong, but King Kong will likely throw him around or I guess break every bone in his body. So yeah, Kong wins, like maybe no difficulty. So he then heals from the little scars and fights the Scorpius Rex. The Scorpius Rex is 2 tons, has poison. So this might be a bigger problem, but if King Kong hits him first, he might one-shot Scorpius, so he still wins low difficulty, I guess. Then he's going to face the Indominus Rex, a very, very bigger threat than the others. He's going, of course, to throw King Kong around with his camouflage, scratch King Kong's body, bite him. It's going to be a brutal matchup, since as we saw, he crashed the gyrosphere, which is bulletproof to 50 Magnum, if I'm not wrong. He also almost killed a version of Rexy in the Jurassic World movie, and she's also kinda bulletproof, I guess you can say. So with all those feats, King Kong would have a really big trouble keeping up with this one. Scratches, bites everywhere, but I think his brute force and most importantly experience would give him an advantage. He would likely find a rock and smash it to the Indominus Rex head. Not going to one-shot the Indominus Rex, but it's not going to be the best feeling. And he might throw the Indominus Rex around. I think he might break, and I think the battle ends about high difficulty when King Kong breaks the Indominus Rex neck, jaw, mainly jaw. After he recovers from that insanely hard fight, he faces us at 87, the giant Spinosaur from the Jurassic Park 3 and Camp Cretaceous. So, yeah, Spinosaurs in this movie, Spinosaur survived, has building level durability since he survived a gun that can blow planes to pieces, I guess you can say. Completely broken bull's neck. Also, he's really big, about 10 tons, if I'm not wrong. And yeah, he's kinda mean actually. So now King Kong would have recovered, so no help for the Spinosaurus. The Spinosaurus would likely try to bite King Kong to the neck, but King Kong would quickly recover with a punch. The Spinosaurus will try to scratch King Kong with his hands and bite, but King Kong would likely retaliate with a rock and then a bite. And he can throw the Spinosaurus just like the Indominus Rex of balance, so yeah. But the Spinosaurus would likely go for the neck for a neck crack, but yeah, it wouldn't work. King Kong would put his head down, likely beat him to a point that the Spinosaurus would likely be really injured to fight. So yeah, King Kong would likely win this one. High difficulty since the Spinosaurus would put up a good fight with his claws and you can say size advantage. High Kong is taller, but the Spino weighs more, I guess you can say. So Kong would have a difficulty more than here, but I don't see him losing actually here either. So Rexy is our next opponent. So Rexy, after he heals up, Rexy would come. Rexy has one of the better durabilities in the franchise, to be honest. Survived really many bites. She's not the best in combat in any means, but she has great durability, which is going to prove superior against the durability of King Kong, but it would still not be enough to overpower the brute force and more experience that King Kong has, and likely will Kong still win. About mid difficulty, the bites of Rexy would do damage, but the fight wouldn't be very different than the Bastatosaurus Rex fighting King Kong, so I guess you can say that. And after that, he faces Zeb, the Giganotosaurus from Jurassic Rebirth, Jurassic Dominion, and Chaos Theory. Of course, this is where this thing gets close because the Giganotosaurus, or you can say Zeb, has feats like beating the strongest version of Rexy, kinda low difficulty. Also, he did that in Chaos Theory also, and he is the most well armored one, so King Kong would have a problem with this one. And yeah, he weighs also 10 tons, so he would throw Kong around like the Spino and the Indominus Rex, biting him, but Kong would likely retaliate with punches, bites, rocks, and weapons, and he would likely win, but really injured. Really, we are talking really injured. When I mean really injured, we mean extreme difficulty. He moves on, but barely, and here he fights the strongest dinosaur in the verse, the Distortus Rex. For the first time, at least for now, King Kong is outsized, like the D-Rex is taller than him, weighs more than him, so Kong would have already a problem. As he heals and lances to the D-Rex would would likely hit him with his hands, throwing Kong in the ground. Kong would retaliate with a rock, damaging the T-Rex a little, not too much. The T-Rex would retaliate with a bite on King Kong's head, or King Kong's hand. King Kong would get free with a really strong punch to the jaw of the Distortus Rex. Then he would try to climb the Distortus Rex to break his jaw, but yeah, things are not too good this time. Because the T-Rex has hands, and his hands are going to throw the King Kong down and likely claw him up to the ground, bite him, do things like that. It seems over for Kong until he gets angry and throws a giant punch at the T-Rex jaw. He then King Kong does more damage to the T-Rex, being a lot faster than the T-Rex. Punches from anywhere are hitting the T-Rex. Rocks are probably hitting him, but the T-Rex gets on a rage mode and grabs King Kong, throws him far. Now, we don't know if the Distortus Rex can use weapons, but for the sake of this video we are going to predict that. Now, as King Kong tries to recover, a giant boulder comes with insane speed and hits his face. Kong is mainly tired, weak, almost dead. As the T-Rex approaches, King Kong, with his last amount of power, hits the T-Rex, grabs the T-Rex little arms and pulls it and throws it to the ground. The T-Rex screams in pain as the King Kong rises, punches him, and of course do anything and above. The T-Rex would get frustrated with that, so he would grab the King Kong, likely ends the fight with a lucky bite to the head. King Kong, although might be the king of Skull Island in his verse, the Jurassic franchise has at least one powerhouse that would rival even the king. Although, should be noted, this is more than likely a 50-50 match. But for this video's sake, we are using that the T-Rex would win. So, if you like, please like and subscribe. See you in the next one.